Hi everyone, and welcome back to Take 10. Today we are on Chapter 5. We're going to talk about effective communication, and what that means is the best way to be able to talk with someone when we have a conflict so that we can solve it easily, okay? So last time we were together, we talked about our emotions, how important it is to recognize all of the different emotions we have, how normal it is to have lots of different emotions even within the same day. And to recognize how our body feels when we experience different emotions. But I want to talk a little bit further about one specific emotion today, and that's one that we feel when we are in conflict with someone. And that emotion is anger, or when we feel angry. So we talked a little bit about what that looks like and what that feels like when we're angry. But now I want to talk about good ways of responding to our anger and bad ways of acting when we have anger, okay? So I have a little chart that I hope will help you understand the different levels of anger that we can all feel. And they have little characters from Angry Birds, if you've ever played the game or seen the movie, so I thought that'd be kind of fun. So the first one is a level 5 kind of anger. So let me move this so you can see the full thing. So when you're a level 5 angry, you feel like you're ready to explode. You feel like screaming or hitting, and you kind of feel like you've lost all control. And again, it's fine to be angry, but it's not fine to react violently when we have anger. So instead of reacting violently, something you can do is find a calm, quiet place to cool down, right? The next one is a level 4 kind of anger. And that's when you feel like you're starting to lose control, you feel upset, you feel like you're about to say things that are hurtful. We've all had this kind of anger before. And a good way to respond to that kind of anger is to take slow, deep breaths, and once again, kind of calm your body down. Release some of that anger as you breathe in and out. A level 3 anger is that you're a little bit out of control. Maybe you feel frustrated or you feel really excited and you just want to move all over the place, and you're kind of overwhelmed by your emotion, by your anger. And one healthy way to deal with that kind of anger is to do something that helps you feel calm. So in this picture, this little bird is playing a harp. Sometimes to feel calm, I like to color, or I like to braid my hair, or if I'm at home and I'm with my dog, I like to pet my dog. Things like that can help me feel calmer. So it's important that as you grow up, you can notice when you're doing different activities and if they make you feel calm. Sometimes listening to nice chill music or something like that can help you feel calm. And that's an important thing that you can do when you feel like anger is starting to rise up in you, is go, if you have the time, to go do an activity that makes you feel more calm. The second level of anger means that you feel like something's bothering you. You might feel worried or you're starting to get frustrated. And a really helpful thing to do when you're starting to feel frustrated, when you just have kind of a level 2, not super angry, you're not ready to explode, but you're just feeling a little bit uncomfortable and frustrated, a good thing to do is tell an adult how you feel. Or sometimes I just tell my friends how I feel. And just being able to talk about it can make me feel better. And then the last one is level 1. And this really isn't angry at all. You just feel good. You feel completely in control of yourself. You have good self-control. And you don't have a lot of angry emotions. And you're all calmed down. So ideally, we all want to be at level 1, right? We don't want to feel angry. But it's super natural and very normal for us to experience all of these different levels of anger, even up to level 5. The important thing is finding things that we can do to respond to that anger that will help us calm down and handle the situation better. So if you've noticed, all of the things that these angry birds have done to respond to their anger kind of relate to the Take 10 slogan, which we've talked about before: talk it out, walk it out, wait it out. So that's also a helpful reminder that when you feel a lot of anger, you can always walk away from the situation to calm yourself down, to kind of get more self-control. You can wait before you even respond to anything to cool off. Or if you're feeling already a bit more calmed down, you can talk about the situation or talk to someone else about the situation, like your friend or someone like that. Okay? So once again, anger is a very normal emotion that we all experience, and it's not a bad thing to have. But there are definitely good ways that we can handle it, and these birds on this chart, these are some good ways that you can handle your anger versus bad ways. And bad ways would be like yelling, kicking, screaming, those kinds of things that just tend to make everything worse instead of better. Okay? And it's going to take practice to be able to learn how to control our emotion and our response to our emotion, but we're all in it together, and I'm confident that you guys will get this down, okay? So today, like I said, we're going to talk about effective communication, or good ways to talk through conflict that you have. And there's two parts of being a good communicator, or being someone that can listen and talk to people well in order to solve their conflict. So I want to ask you, what makes a good listener? Especially if you ever have a problem or a conflict, how do you show someone that you're listening really well? I want you to turn to your neighbor and tell them how you show someone that you're listening, okay? I'll give you a couple seconds to think and share with your neighbor. All right, so maybe you shared with your neighbor that to show someone that you're a good listener means that you're giving them eye contact, you're not talking, and that you are facing the person that is speaking to you. And I wanted to share with you something really cool. So this is a Chinese symbol. And so in the Chinese language, like how we use letters, they use little symbols to form words. And this symbol right here is the word listening in Chinese. And what's cool about this is that it has 5 different parts that make up what it looks like to be a good listener. So I want to go through them with you. So the first part in red, this symbol right here alone means ears. So that means that when you're listening really well to someone, your ears are on and you're hearing things and you're not being distracted by anything else, right? So a big part of listening is obviously your ears. A second part of listening is this green part down here, which is your mind. So that means that you're thinking, you're processing what you're hearing, and you're focused. The third part is in yellow over here, and that's your heart or your feelings. So that means that you are open to feeling the different emotions that may come when someone tells you things. And then the purple part is undivided attention, and that means that you're focused and you're paying attention to that person. And the last part is here in blue, and it's your eyes. So that means that if you're listening well, you're probably making eye contact with that person to show them that your whole body is listening to them, okay? So I thought this was a cool little reminder to help us think about all of the different parts of us that make up a good listener. Our ears, our mind, our eyes, our hearts, and we're super focused, right? And a helpful tip is you can't talk it out. So talk it out is part of our Take 10 slogan that we've been talking about. And you can't talk it out if you don't know what the other person you are talking to is saying. So what this is basically saying is we have to be good listeners if we want to solve our conflict. And we won't be able to talk it out with someone if we can't listen well to them, okay? And then the second part of being a good communicator so that you can solve your problems is the way that you express yourself, or the way that you talk when you have conflict. So in chapter 4, we talked about our feelings and how we have lots of different feelings. When we have conflict with someone, they may not know how we're feeling. So it's important that we share with them what our feelings are. So for example, if someone stole my marker, instead of me just yelling at them and accusing them of being a thief, instead I would say something like, I feel really hurt that you took my marker without asking my permission first. And that will help you express your feelings, and most likely the person will respond in a much calmer way if you start by sharing your feelings with them, okay? So this is called an I feel statement, and it's just a sentence that starts with the words I feel, and I want you to practice this in your activities journal. So in chapter 4, we talked about recognizing in ourselves what our feelings are, and then the next step is being able to tell someone our feelings. And this isn't always easy to do, so we're got to practice it a little bit. So in your activity journal, it says, read the following situations and respond with an I feel statement, or a sentence that starts with the words I feel. So, for example, the first situation says, Marcus borrowed your markers and forgot to return them. How does that make you feel? And you respond by writing, I feel blank when Marcus borrowed my markers and forgot to return them. Okay? It's as simple as that. I feel, enter the emotion that you may feel if that were to happen to you, and then the action that Marcus did. The second one says, you and Ashley were sharing your crayons for an art project, and Ashley accidentally took your crayons. So how would that make you feel? So on the line, you would write, I feel whatever emotion because Ashley accidentally took my crayons after we were working on an art project. And you're going to do that for all 4 scenarios, okay? And this is good practice for us to learn how to express our feelings or to talk about our feelings so that we can handle conflict better and get along with people better, okay? So that's all I have for you today. I want you to remember the 2 parts of being a good communicator. And a good communicator is someone who can solve their problems through talking and listening. So that's what the 2 parts are. How to listen well, which you have lots of practice doing that in school already because you listen to your teachers and you listen to people in the school building. And that takes all of our body. So it's our ears, our eyes, our minds, our hearts, everything. And then the second part is the way that you talk to people. And it's important to express your feelings when you talk to them, okay? So go ahead and start working on your activity journals, and feel free to work in partners if your teacher is okay with that, and this can help you figure out what emotions you may be experiencing if these different situations happen to you, okay? Thank you for being such good listeners, and I'll see you next time. Bye.